Cheers.
Welcome, everybody.
Welcome, everybody, to another episode of Bourbon and Booze, where we like to try different whiskeys on Tuesdays and Thursdays. And so we're going back to an old whiskey line that this will finish off. Well, actually, I just found out they have a different variation today, but this will finish off the last of the Shieldaig. So if you want to know more about the Shieldaigs, they have a different variations like Islays and Speysides and Highlands. We've all done those. And this is basically their classic blend. In fact, I think it's called the Classic. Yep. The Shieldaig Classic. And so Shieldaig is from the Ian MacLeod Distillery. It is made for basically a store brand.
Yeah, it's for a proprietary brand for a certain store.
Somewhat. In the States, it's mostly the Total Wines brand. They do have some stuff that you can't get in the States, you can only get in China, that are made specifically for China. But I don't know if this is specific only to Total Wine in America, or just America's got or Total Wine's got the monopoly on it here. Mm-hmm. But you can get this in Europe, and you can get this in other places. Ian MacLeod is one of the bigger distillers out there that make just odd type of, you don't normally know what they are.
And I would say the Speyside, or the Shieldaig, Shieldaig is a very common man. You can get...
Yeah, so this one costs $13.98. So that's going to put it in the 4-barrel range. So that's very common for the common man. Now they do have the 12-year in the Classic. This is the only other version. And we did this one back in September of 2019, episode 136 if you want to watch. And it costs $20. So it's about a $7 difference between just the Classic blend and a 12-year blend.
And the 12-year is still a very common
price. The Islay and the Speyside and the Highland all run about $20, and then the Speyside ends up having a 12-year, a 15-year, a 25-year, and I think a 35-year, and so they start getting more and more up into the hundreds of dollars. This is 40% or 80 proof, and because it's blended, it doesn't have an age statement. It's just their Classic, where this blended is a 12-year.
And the thing, I think this is the only one that you can get in a handle.
I think you can get the Highland in a handle as well, but I could be wrong.
And the handle is like $20, so it's a good price for it.
And it's really good whiskey for the common man. So we end up buying multiple bottles of this. I mean, this is the nice stuff to have on hand when you have guests over who aren't really into scotch and stuff, and give them a try. And because they have the whole gamut of the kind of the different styles of scotch, the Speyside and the Highland and the Islays, you can give them kind of a variation.
Well, and like when you said you have guests, you don't want to give them the Islay right away. You want to just start with this and build it up.
True. Okay, so let's go ahead and do the review.
Kind of hard for me not to come with this as a bias because I like the Shieldaig so much.
Okay. How are you doing over there? And we'll compare this with the 12-year. One thing about Shieldaig is they are screw tops, and I've seen a lot of stuff lately, especially this week, about people who are still thinking that screw tops are less quality, less, I don't know, worthy whiskey. And actually, screw tops tend to be a lot better because you don't get the cork taintage or broken corks. Because if you know wine can get a cork taintage from it. Whiskeys can too. And the whole fad about corks is really a post-1970s thing. Almost everything was corked or was screw top for ages.
Oh, and if you ever had the wine bottle that the cork didn't come out and you gotta fight.
And we have a couple whiskey bottles that way.
Yeah, you're pushing it through, you're trying to and then the cork goes into the...
The article I read this week was saying that more and more wineries are starting to kind of go to the screw top. There's certain brands of whiskey that we normally just will change out the cork to a synthetic cork because they like to break. Okay, so for the regular 12 or the regular classic,
the 12-year-old has much more like the leather, the richness.
Okay. For aroma, I'm getting...
the classic is...
I gave it a 3. You gave it a 3.5 on aroma. Why'd you give it a 3.5 on aroma?
And I'm still trying to figure out why you watch lots of videos and everything, right? To break everything down. And I don't...
That's why I like to ask you first.
I just know what I like, because I don't... It's very, and I know I say this every video, it just smells good. It smells good. And you watch the videos, and you do the research, you read the magazines, and you pick out all the nuances and everything.
Okay. So you gave it a 3.5 because it's good.
For everyday man scotch, this is and I know I said this before on so many videos, it's good for the price. It's excellent.
For aroma, I get a little bit of nuttiness and earthiness to it. It's almost like a peanut type of nuttiness, but not quite. Earthiness, but it's also got a little medicinal.
Yeah, I was gonna just say it has that thing, kind of like
more medicinal than anything for me. Not necessarily chemical verathane, but more, I don't know, iodine. Kind of,
yeah, when you said iodine,
that seaside briny iodine. I gave it a 3, you gave it 3.5. For flavor, dare I ask? You gave it a 3, but why?
Because it's
good.
I
find it watery and silky, so there's not really thickness to it. It's kind of very, I don't know. There's no real legs to it. No oil. It's very watery, silky. A little tinge of sourness to it.
I didn't get the sour, but it's very very neutral.
Very neutral. And I gave a 4 for bite, same as you. There's no real bite to this. No linger, no bite. It is only 80 proof. Now, with water, a little bit of the flavor, that earthiness that I was getting on the nose comes out. For the 12-year, it's a little bit more defined aroma.
And I would say...
the peanut or the nuttiness isn't as defined, but the earthiness is.
If you're going to give, for a starter, scotch, if you want to give somebody this for it's a good beginning Scotch.
I think I would actually buy the $20 12-year.
Well, the 12-year. Oh, the aroma is much more. It's more of a peaty.
Oh no, there's no peat to it.
Oh, there's definitely peat.
Yeah, much more briny. Much more that medicinal iodine, that sea brine.
No, did you pour us the same stuff?
Yes.
It's got more of the peaty, more of the smoky, rich.
No. None at all. And even our audience says no. So one audience says yes. The other said no.
Yeah.
Compared to the Islay, no, it's very.
If you're comparing it to the Islay, no, but just this one and this one. This one is much
more.
To me, Scotchy. This is more of what I come for Scotch too, compared to this one.
Some of the people in the audience are saying more leather.
Yeah, it's got
not necessarily peat. Overall, this is going to be a 14, which is a 3.5. Now, the 12-year, we gave a 3. But this is a year and 3 months ago. So 16 months ago that we did the 12-year. And, of course, our palates have changed. We're post-COVID, so we both, well, you don't know that you had it, but I had it. So everything's changed. And we've changed so much in our likings for Scotch that not sure that this would still qualify as a 3, but we'll keep that.
And that's the thing is, like, your taste changes over drinking so much. There's so much stuff here that we've tried, and that, like, changes your palate.
Right. I think Shieldaig is something you should try if you have a Total Wines or if you can find it somewhere. And again, I don't know if it's available in places outside the U.S. I know it's available in China and mainland Asia, but I don't know about China and Taiwan and stuff like that. But I don't know about where you can get it in Europe. If you're in Scotland or England, it's the Ian MacLeod. I'm sure they sell it. You should pick it up. It's a great introduction. By far, it's not my go-to. I mean, I use it for everyday stuff. If I wanted a Scotch, but I don't really want to open up something like my Lefroy's or Glen Grant's or
well, and I
whatever.
would say if you can have that on your shelf, you should just go to Total Wine and buy all of them because
you could probably get all 4 expressions. You know, only one of the classics, the 12-year, for $60.
I mean, if you're just starting out drinking whiskey and stuff, get all of them.
In fact, I think Total Wines, because they're the main carrier, should actually do a gift set. Package gift set. So
yeah.
Tell us what you think. Tell us what your favorite low budget, and when we say low budget, we're saying $20 or around there.
Yeah.
Scotches. Remember, this is a blended Scotch. Make sure you hit the like and subscribe. Check out Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and merchandise. Remember, there's no bad whiskey. There's only good whiskey and great whiskey, and it's pretty good whiskey for the price.
This is good.
Yeah.
For the price.
Cheers.
Laters.